Hi, Diana.
Hello.
So today's January 1st, 2026. How many weeks are you today?
I am 35 weeks pregnant.
35 weeks pregnant. When's your due date?
My due date is February 5th.
Okay, so your biggest takeaways in these last weeks leading up to your due date, what do you think they've been like? What's been the most challenging things for you?
The most challenging is carrying this big old thing. No, I feel like just staying active, staying sane, because my body's going through so much. Baby girl's growing really fast, so obviously I've been gaining a lot more weight faster, so I feel it, on my body. But I've been trying to just stay consistent and move my body as much as possible. As you can see, I'm already losing my breath. So yeah, I'm just taking it one day at a time.
So since this is your second child, what would be the biggest difference that you would say now versus your last pregnancy is?
I feel like everything's happening a lot sooner. With my first pregnancy, I feel like everything was a little bit slower. I feel like my body's already kind of like in gear, and it already knows what's coming. It already knows what to do. So I feel like it's just everything's happening a lot sooner. Like, Braxton Hicks started at 20 weeks. With my first child, they started, at 30. So I've been experiencing things a lot faster, and I feel like I've gained a little bit more weight this time around, just because I feel like I wasn't as consistent at moving my body as I was with my first.
So would you say that you're more prepared or more experienced with this pregnancy, or do you feel like having a second child compared to the first is not comparable, or it doesn't make a difference, or every pregnancy is different? Or what would you say? Do you feel like you're more prepared this pregnancy?
I don't feel like sooner, but I don't feel prepared, just because with my first, it was obviously different, and she was breached, so I didn't get to experience labor. I had to go in for a scheduled C-section, so that was completely different. Then this baby, we're hoping that we're able to do a vaginal birth, so I'm gonna get to experience contractions and all of that. So I wouldn't say prepared, but I just feel like I have an idea.
And does that scare you, knowing that you're going to be going into preparing yourself for, just vaginal birth?
Oh yeah, I'm scared. I'm really scared.
And scared as in what, like the pain, the experience, the just overall, like what would you see? What would you say scares you?
I think what scares me is not knowing, like, how baby doesn't take it as good as, I don't know, what if her heart rate drops, or her, that just scares me. Obviously, I want her to be healthy, and I want, a safe and healthy delivery for both of us. But at the same time, like, I never had the experience that I'm gonna have with this baby, so that's what scares me. I just want it to just be a good experience and not be traumatic, because I know a lot of women experience or go for VBACs and they end up in C-sections. A lot of them have told me that they try for a VBAC and they end up in a C-section because of either like an induction that they have to go through, or the epidural brings the baby's heart rate down, or something like that. So that kind of scares me, but I'm trying to keep an open mind and just pray about it.
Okay. So bringing a child into this world is just a blessing overall, correct?
Yes.
And obviously you had a C-section with your first one. What makes you want to deliver VBAC, with your second one, just knowing that, knowing what you know with the C-section already, what makes you want to have a VBAC? Like what's the biggest factor, would you say, in your mind that's kind of like pushing you to do that?
It was hard with the C-section, and now that I have a 3-year-old, if she needs me, obviously she needs her mom to be, to do stuff for her. I'm not gonna be able to rest as much, and I just feel like that's kind of like my motivation to try for a vaginal birth. And obviously I want to let my body do what it's meant to do, like to give birth. And I know, you know, a lot of women are capable of giving vaginal birth, and I feel like since I didn't really get to try or, you know, even experience like labor, I feel like I kind of took that away from my body. Well, I didn't take it away, but, you know, my baby was breached, but I didn't give my body a chance. So I feel like I owe it to myself to experience that. And obviously to my husband, and, you know, just so I can have a faster recovery and, you know, be with my family.
Okay. So you're now at 35 weeks. Mm-hmm. Time is ticking. You know, probably a lot of stress, a lot of things on your mind, you know, just obviously, you know, fatigue, you know, weight carrying, you know, on your belly, you know. I see that you're trying to stay physically active now. What advice would you give to, you know, someone that's in your situation that they've already found out they're pregnant and, you know, they're going to already have their first baby? What advice would you give to them, you know, starting with their pregnancy?
Going through so much, but I feel like just keep your body moving, you know, and try to, you know, stay hydrated, because I feel like that kind of helped me during my first pregnancy. I was really active. With this pregnancy, I had to step back a little bit because I injured myself, my ankle. So I was out on the couch for like a whole month, or maybe over a month. So I feel like that kind of made me just get lazy in a way, and I was just kind of like, oh, you know, like it doesn't really matter if I work out. But now in the third trimester, I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety and a lot of like just weird thoughts, and I feel like I had to get back in here and just move my body and just remember who I am, because I feel like I was just so overwhelmed with, you know, so many changes. My body's looking different, my belly's huge, I can barely breathe. So I feel like it was just a lot, and I feel like exercise or find something that you like, that you enjoy even before pregnancy, and just focus on that. Try to do that throughout your whole pregnancy. That's, you know, if it's running, if it's, you know, strength training, if it's going to yoga, like just do something that you used to enjoy like before you even got pregnant. Just keep doing it throughout your whole pregnancy, and, you know, talk to people. You know, if you have your spouse or a significant other, just communicate with them, you know, tell them what's going on. If you have family members that support you, like talk to them, because pregnancy is hard, and I feel like everybody needs that constant like support and like unity, because like everybody says it takes a village. So.
Thank you. Okay, D, appreciate it, and continue on your journey. It flex one time for me. Double pump.